In all our machines, we always include a voltage regulation system, which is something we absolutely provide to guarantee the lifespan.
So a customer who buys the machine and has no prior experience using the software, can they use it?
Absolutely. And speaking of the fact that there are different factories, different business lines, let's talk a bit about the applications and another question that comes up a lot on social media. What are the different applications, or what exactly can I create with the FORZA ONE or with the different FORZA Laser machines?
Great question, Freddy. And actually, look, we've sold the FORZA ONE to all kinds of businesses, from jewelry companies that make small charms as keepsakes, to oil companies that use it to make parts for extraction in mines, and all sorts of crazy things, furniture manufacturing industries, and also for stainless steel work to create entire gastronomic lines, hangers, shelves, you name it. So I love the fact that this asset lets you process steel sheets in an amazing way. So there are customer experiences where they were working in one line of business and suddenly things didn't go well, or they found another product and switched, and they didn't have to invest in new molds or new facilities, which is what happens with other production equipment.
Exactly.
And that's also what fiber laser gives you. And that's also what you get with the different material and assist gas options you can have with the FORZA ONE.
Absolutely. So you don't need to make any adjustments to cut stainless steel or mild steel. Today you could be making a small jewelry pendant, and tomorrow you could be making shelving without having to invest a single cent in modifications. Which is totally different from what happens, for example, with stamping processes, where if you need to make a slightly bigger hole, you have to make a new mold. So, of course, someone might say, no, what happens is that the stamping process is faster. Hey, but the flexibility of laser is amazing. Don Giovanni, our client here in Quito, remember, he had about 10 of these machines for just one product, and now he's saved a ton of time, material, and also process steps to be able to make, for example, the hangers.
Exactly, the hangers.
And keep in mind, if we actually calculate the time, the exact processing time for these hangers, stamping is probably faster. But what's the difference? The difference is that behind every die cutting machine, there has to be an operator there. So, on the other hand, with the laser, you set up the sheet, let it cut, and he can leave because he has more machines. He goes to another machine, sets up the sheet, and keeps cutting, and it's a more efficient process. And also the post-processing. Right, there's no scrap, because in the end you put the whole design in, and it comes out of the sheet already cut and finished. And as I said, the next day they can serve a customer who wants stainless steel, and they haven't had to invest a single cent in that area.
Exactly, with the same machine. When I joined FORZA, there were big companies buying these machines that cost $200,000 or $300,000, and now they cost $20,000 or $30,000. And it's not just the big factories that have them anymore, but also workshops and people who maybe have some purchasing power and are just starting out in the laser business. How did all this happen? I mean, how did we move so quickly to the laser market evolving?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's something I really love. Like you said, Freddy, yeah, before only big companies could afford to have this kind of disruptive technology. And I think that's where the disruption comes from that evolution of technology and the change in price that comes with it. Let me tell you something I knew, Freddy. Years ago, the industries leading this were German companies like IPG, which is still a benchmark, but they produced relatively expensive laser sources. A source, just talking about a laser source of 1,000, where the laser originates. Of course, where the heart of the machine could cost, about 8 or 10 years ago, around $300,000 just for the source.
These were million-dollar machines.
And those same sources today, 1,500 watts, are around $10,000, even less than $10,000. Wow, what a drastic price change. And actually, the Chinese have a lot to do with that, Freddy, because there are these state-owned companies. I think everyone knows that China is taking over the world precisely because they manufacture some components in a revolutionary way and push the industry to move quickly. So, there are some companies like Ricus and Maxitonics, which have state-owned company involvement, subsidies, let's call them that, so they have the opportunity to offer you good technology at disruptive prices. So suddenly, prices started dropping drastically, and that's why today you can already find much more affordable machines.
And that's why we talk about an evolution within the laser technology industry, because of this disruption in the market and the disruption in accessibility to get our new machines. In this case, the FORZA ONE machine.
But today, that's not the case. Now, for a small workshop, sometimes the first machine they buy is the FORZA ONE, and it's a total revolution because of the impact of the technology. Just imagine, before you had to pay $400,000 for a machine, and today you can get the same machine for about $30,000. It's crazy. We're talking about 10 times less, and that's why the market is growing now, and it's the perfect time to innovate with laser technology.
Exactly. And the market is growing, but where exactly is it growing? In which areas is FORZA Laser present? How far have we come with this disruption in a laser technology market? We're not just in Ecuador anymore, we're in Mexico, and we're present throughout all of Latin America.
Absolutely, Freddy, I really like it because as a technician, you also get to learn from many different cultures. We've been up north in Mexicali, over in Mexico, and we've also been in several countries like Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and we're also going to be in Venezuela and Costa Rica. So, all across Latin America, we're coming in with these applications, seeing all the different kinds of things they're used for. And I have a question, Freddy. Once a client told me, hey, but now everyone has a laser, it's like I'm running out of business, so to speak. Hey, the impact of the laser is that it changes production processes. That is, if today this table was being made with process A, tomorrow it will be made with the laser. So, just as the number of clients grows, the industry grows too. So, it's not like I buy a machine and everyone else buys one too and now I'm out of business. No, that's not how it works. What happens is that every time laser machines arrive, more production processes start using them.
The range of businesses and clients also expands.
Look, exactly. An interesting fact is that, hey, every time we visit a client, they have a different application. It's actually rare to find two of our clients doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And that's.
And also, when it comes to creativity, there are many business lines and applications you can do with just one process. There's no need for a post-process. For example, we have a video where we create a stool and we only use our FORZA ONE, and for welding certain parts, we also use our FORZA solder. So that's just one example of the business lines we have and the additional business lines we can serve. So it's an invitation to all our clients to get creative.
Absolutely. In fact, I had a client who told us, Freddy, hey, now with the machine I went crazy because I just realized how many things I can do and I feel like I missed dash dot.
Happens.
So, that's also nice to hear, and to know that besides the laser, you don't need so many machines to be able to create a lot of products. In fact, even bending processes, Freddy, now there are cutting patterns that you literally just bend by hand and you can already create your.
That's it.
Or like you said, the stool, which is literally just a couple of screws, a wood cut, and that's it.
And speaking of the stool and the business lines and boosting creativity, FORZA Laser also offers other options and other really important things.
That make us different.
And that make us different. Exactly, like first, the vector platform, and second, the library, the parameters, something revolutionary. It was revolutionary within FORZA Laser, and it's also revolutionary in the market. Do you agree?
Of course, look, within those parameters there's a lot of knowledge or really cool expertise, Freddy, because many times people buy the machines and what do they get? The best motors, the best head, the best power supply, when sometimes the machine isn't assembled that well and the gears break. So, it's not all about the components, but really about a quality control process at the assembly level and then in the post-processing. Why? Because it's like having an engine that's poorly configured, that accelerates badly, brakes badly, and is going to break down on you. It doesn't matter the quality of the engine if it's not properly configured.
And for that, we have the FORZA Laser engineering team, experts who help you get that engine running, and also the tools so that you always have that engine working, like the parameters.
Exactly, the parameters, right there, that's something really, really cool that we've been developing for several years. The whole thing about how the laser works in relation to speed, gases, pressure, height, all these characteristics that directly affect the quality of a good cut. I mean, to get a good cut, I need to have all those, like 8 or 10 parameters, set up just right. If clients do this manually, Freddy, we have clients who have. Well, not ours, but some have spent 10 months there, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error.
Just imagine losing 10 months.
Wasting material, and sometimes I say, hey, but we already know how to do this. So, look, as a kind of help for these clients, who sometimes aren't even ours, we created the library, where behind each parameter there are settings for speed, pressure, height, the nozzle you need to use, so that you just select the material, load it, and you're ready. It's not just for our machines. If clients have a different machine, they can use it too.
Exactly. Now, just imagine avoiding wasting time doing parameter setups, spending days, hours, and still not figuring out how to cut a certain material properly. With a library, you'll avoid all that and you'll find the ideal parameter to save yourself all that time. So that's another unique benefit of FORZA Laser, the library.
That's right, Freddy. Well, the library is basically the collection of all our knowledge, which is just a click away for our clients, free of charge, and also the vectors. This tool you were talking about,
It's in the vectors.
it's just that it's in the vectors. You just download it and the plans are ready to cut. We also have a portable grill and, well, some other ideas that we develop within the team. We do tests, trials, and our clients, well, they like them, and sooner or later, it even helps you to be able to sell within a certain sector. These vectors are also free for our clients, and if you're not our client, you can still buy them.
Exactly. So for anyone who has a metal cutting machine, even if it's not a FORZA Laser machine, you can also buy all the vectors at viectos.forzalaser.com, and you can also access the library page to download the parameters. But those do have a cost. So Diego, we're finished. We're wrapping up. I'm sure there will be many more questions. Write to us in the comments. Send us a message if you have more questions about laser technology or about the FORZA One. We'll be answering all your questions in upcoming episodes. Diego, it was a pleasure to share and talk about laser technology and answer many of our clients' questions.
Absolutely, I really enjoyed this first video in this format. There will definitely be more to come. We invite you to send us all the questions you want us to answer. And video ideas too, because we're open to them. As long as it's about lasers, we love it. We have a million ideas and we're definitely going to keep putting out more and more information, more videos. So, follow us, subscribe, and we'll see you soon in another video.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.